The Five Nights at Freddy's movie has had a serious lack of news and information. I mean, we did get confirmation from Blum that the film is super active.
We have a very good shot at getting to see a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I feel like it's really moving forward. It's not stalled or anything else.
But other than that, we know nothing about the story, characters, and vice versa. So today, instead of making another progress report, I'm going to plant the seed and share some of my predictions for this highly anticipated Five Nights at Freddy's feature film. What's up, gamer dudes and gamer gals? I'm Nathan and welcome to my channel. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to share with you all my predictions for the film, but before I do that, make sure to comment down below your own assumptions, as well as whether or not you think the film will succeed. And now, without further ado, let's get started with today's video. So, what do we know about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? Well, we know from the upcoming project's Megathread, rest in peace, that the films will be restricted to Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 3 only. That means that characters like Baby and the Moldy Peanut, aka Scrap Trap, do not exist in these movies. Oh, come on, I can't be the only one that doesn't like his model.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
Anyways, I'll be using this past information as the base for my assumptions, which we can finally start after this commercial break. I'm selling dirt. I'm just messing with you. On with the video. So my first prediction is that the story will not be stuffed to the brim with fan service. Now, I'm sure a lot of people want this movie to dive deep into the lore and explore multiple events and locations spanning across the franchise, but I don't really see it going this route. Although some of the audience are hardcore fans, there's also people who are only loosely familiar with the franchise, and some may not even know what it is in the first place. Therefore, a lore-filled story pandering to fans would come off as way too confusing for everyone else. However, if the story is easy to follow with less of an emphasis on lore, then all audiences, not just the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom, will be able to understand and appreciate the film. Yeah, it may mean no Bite of 87 or Mystery Box, but it's worth it if it means this movie gets a high rating and possible sequel. Not to mention a movie with complete fan service is, yeah. My next prediction is that there will be a band of protagonists rather than a single night guard in the film. At this point, it's pretty much confirmed by Scott himself that the movie will occur during the events of the first game, and subsequent entries, should the film get a sequel, will occur in the second and third game's locations. Therefore, I think it's safe to assume that Mike Schmidt, the first game's protagonist, will be incorporated into the film in some way. However, I would challenge the idea that he's the one and only main character in the movie. Looking at Blumhouse's history of films, nearly all of them feature a supporting character or surround the leading role with friends and family. Happy Death Day, group of friends. Get Out, supporting character. Halloween, a family teaming up. This trend is consistent with a lot of Blumhouse movies. Now, that's not to say the Five Nights at Freddy's movie can't be different, as Blumhouse has taken a risk in the past with Benji? What? Just imagine how this movie opened. Oh my god. So yeah, anything is possible, but it's a much better investment for the company to stick to something more conventional like a non-solo film. It's also probably better for a film overall, as sticking with one character could potentially get boring over time. But on the bright side, if the movie has multiple protagonists, that means Jamie Lee Curtis can have a role in the film after all, as well as any actors that would otherwise be ruled out because they looked nothing like the game's characters. I'm talking to you, Markiplier. Please be in this movie. We need you. Another one of my predictions is that the movie will not be rated R. As much as I hate to admit it, Five Nights at Freddy's is no longer made for mature audiences. Sure, the game has sinister themes like murder and death, but at the same time there's plushies, birthday decorations, a future coloring book, and who can forget Five Nights at Freddy's World, the scariest game in the series. All these and more just establish this series as less mature than, say, Little Nightmares, which is dark and disturbing all around. Highly recommend it. It's a fantastic game. So by no means will this film be as juvenile as the Goosebumps series, but at the same time, I don't see the film being overly dark and bloody. From a financial standpoint, PG-13 makes the most sense, as the film can grab both audiences but still accommodate for that scary, disturbing feel of the franchise. Not to mention, there's already 2 rated R Five Nights at Freddy's clones out right now, so if you really wanted mature content, you could just watch those movies. Well, one's technically not out yet, but let's be honest, it'll be 2023 by the time YouTube recommends this video. I think I'll cap this video off with one last prediction. Thus far, I've tried to keep my predictions fairly reasonable and not grab things out of absolutely nowhere, but this last prediction is a little out there. You guys remember how in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 we had that minigame where Springtrap was disassembling the animatronics? Well, that location just so happens to be the pizzeria from the first game. So why am I telling you this? Well, what if the film didn't take place during Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but rather years later after the place is shut down and abandoned? It sounds like a stretch, sure, but what's creepier? A pizzeria with normal animatronics and a pleasant atmosphere, or decaying animatronics in a pizzeria that's falling apart, shrouded in darkness, and with the atmosphere you'd get when you visit a haunted house? As much as we want this movie to stay faithful to the games, the classic formula just doesn't work for a horror film. I mean, who wants to see a film where all the main character does is click buttons and watch the cameras for animatronics? There might be a few scary moments here and there, but you can't tell me this concept is perfect for a 120-minute film. That's why an abandoned pizzeria makes more sense for a horror movie, as it allows for tons of creativity. Not to mention, we'd get an original story that expands on what's already established in the franchise, and get to see Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in a new light. Still, it's a stretch because this concept was already implemented in the Five Nights at Freddy's book, The Silver Eyes, and I doubt Scott would want to rehash the same ideas. However, he did write this script with the author of the book, so it's possible some ideas will make it into the film. Whatever happens, we can rest knowing that Scott is heading the project and we won't end up with Michael Bay's designs in the final film. I mean, good God, what are these things? So there you have it, my predictions for the Five Nights at Freddy's feature film. I tried not to go off the rails, but let me know if you prefer less evidence-based assumptions later on down the line. If you enjoyed this video, administer a big ol' like and subscribe for more videos on this highly anticipated film. Before I end this video, I'd like to thank everyone for their support on my last prediction video. It truly inspired this video, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to share my thoughts with so many people. Seriously, thank you all so much for the support. This has been Nathan sharing my predictions for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie here on Awesome Gamer Dude. Thanks for watching and have an amazing rest of your day.